Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today is going to be a very fascinating and interesting day because I have a being with me by the name of Hermes. Some call him Hermes Trismegistus. Um, and he came in with an unusual expression to me this morning. He said, addiction is a blessed curse. He said, basically, addiction is a blessed curse. Well, I've got it written down here as a cursed blessing, but he said it is a blessed curse. I asked him what he means by that, and he says, most humans are addicted to matter and the pleasure of matter. So many of you are so bound by it that you will do anything to feel good within it. And yet you do not recognize that most of what you feel is not because of what is occurring in this world, but what is occurring in your own minds. And you find yourself drawn to things that will distract you from the suffering that is in your mind, more so than what suffering is in your world. The suffering in your mind is what you wish to be distracted from. The pleasure and joy and even bliss that you can achieve through the process of your attachment to substances that alter and change the way in which you experience being in this world. Because ultimately, this is what you're trying to do. You're seeking to experience the most beautiful way of experiencing being in this world. It is why so many of you are addicted to matter, the consumption of matter, the pleasure of your senses. And you find yourselves struggling to overcome the very problem you've created with your own need. I say that this behavior of addiction to matter is not simply the addiction to specific substances, but it is the addiction to matter as a sense of pleasure, a way of distracting yourself from the causes of the effects of why your civilizations, why the conditions of your societies are struggling tumultuously in fear. And so you seek these things that you create called money and substance and alcohols and these drugs, and you create and manufacture these things to distract yourself from the responsibility necessary to take care of this planet. The responsibility necessary to take care of this planet. You formulate ideas and thinkings in your mind that create disturbance in your body. And that disturbance in your body grows for many of you. You think a certain way, you feel a certain way, and that causes change in the matter of your body. And you find ways of stimulating a distraction away from the discomfort that you've created. You find ways of stimulating a distraction from the discomfort that you've created with your own mind, your own judgments. And it can be very exciting and very stimulating when you find something that makes the body very excited, very blissful. It is a great distraction, but it's got its own trap. For once you find and believe that the solution for your suffering resides in the experience of pleasure alone, you surrender then your responsibility to originate a deliberate change. You surrender your ability to initiate change, and you now become subjective to the body, to matter, to what it gives you as a distraction away from the responsibility of thinking and choosing and creating deliberately and intelligently. And now you have a whole civilization engulfing this world, consuming it drunkenly, recklessly, aimlessly, hoping to alleviate your suffering. But you cannot alleviate your suffering through matter alone. You came here to offer yourself to this world creatively, to make it more of what it can be and less of what it isn't. And this is a choice that each of you must take. When I came to this one and I said to him this morning, there is a blessing in addiction, but it is a curse. The blessing is that you learn to take your attention away from what disturbs you, which is what the pleasure of your senses does. It takes you away from the thoughts, the ideas in your mind that disturb you, that you think you have no control over, that you think you have to run away from, and yet you are the ultimate controller of your thoughts if you choose to realize this. You are the ultimate creator of emotion if you choose to realize this. But those of you that are distracted with the pleasure of the body, which is far more preferable than the responsibility necessary to learn to cultivate a mind that thinks and reasons intelligently and critically, compassionately, kindly, and lovingly. This is something that you must develop. It is not just given onto you that you should know how to be kind or how to be loving. This is a skill that you must develop in mind and then embody what you develop in mind, which you do. Whether you like it or not, you are embodying every thought and emotion in your mind into this world. Look around you. Look around you. Lack, gross consumption. These are all effects of what is in your mind, and you impose upon this world what you cannot control in your mind, and you seek to be relieved from your mind by taking control of what is in this world, and it does not work. It has never worked. It has never worked since the dawn of human creation and manifestation. It has not worked. It is you that has dominion over matter, and you have surrendered your dominion over matter to matter, and you expect that which is dependent upon you. You expect this world, which is actually dependent upon you, to care for it, and you expect the child to take care of you. It will not work. And so you do the same thing with these substances and these sensations of pleasure. You seek to distract yourself from the responsibility of thinking, imagining, and creating consciously and intelligently. And I do not say this in the context that you are ignorant or that you are not thinking, because you can think. And when you begin to think, ignorance dissolves. But I am saying that you are able to begin to surrender your attachment to the world as a means for providing you with the only sense of well-being that you think you can create. For you, in your essence, in thought and imagination, generate conditions of matter, conditions of energy, conditions of behavior that organize the conditions of your world. But you will not find relief nor satisfaction through matter. You may offer relief and satisfaction to those in matter, to the trees, to the forests, to the animals, to the birds, even to your fellow humans, through your actions and through your thoughts. You can offer relief, creation, compassion, love, and kindness. You find yourself wanting to be free, but not wanting the responsibility of what that freedom means, that you must be diligent in what you allow in your mind, that you must be conscious of what you say, conscious of what you do. And you have in your mind, many of you, thoughts and ideas, histories, memories that are not pleasant, things that you have participated in, and things that others have participated in that are not pleasant. The suffering that has been inflicted upon one to the other, in the hopes that you could gain more pleasure by eliminating the other from your life, hoping that if I get rid of them or they, that I will find the joy and the pleasure in my being, that having that out of my way will make me better. And this is clearly not true. If you believe that matter is the source of your fulfillment, then you have ignored the real purpose of your life, which is to give to this world, to extend a light and a love that is unique to you through that form in which you find yourself. Yes, it's interesting. His energy to me right now, he's presenting himself as this being that's very tall in these, it's all green. There's all green around him. And he's holding a staff in his right hand that's about 6 feet tall. And it's got a white crystal on top of it. And it has the serpents that entwine and reach the top. And he says it's important to understand the meaning of symbols, to understand that the staff represents who I am, the matter which I inhabit as who I am is to organize matter, to organize the conditions of matter, and not simply to be subjective to them. If you truly gave what you are to this world will not suffer. If you truly gave to this world what you are, this world will not suffer, and none in it would suffer. But you seek to end your own suffering by the fulfillment of the senses. And the blessing is that relief that you feel from the distractions of your noisy, tumultuous, uncontrolled mind. And you feel blessed in that moment when you have a moment of pleasure in that body, or sensation from that drink, or that substance that would alter your perception of that reality that you think is so horrible and unconquerable and unalterable and unchangeable. But I can assure you that your mind is your servant, not your master. But you've turned your body into your servant. You've made this world your master. You've made this world the master by saying that it is the source of your pleasure. It is the source of your fulfillment. And this is the error. Any substance, anything of this world that you say gives you fulfillment, well, now you've deferred the very nature of your own infinite potential to a finite construct of matter. To truly liberate yourself, restore yourself to that estate of being, where matter is served by your love, your compassion, your kindness. You must be fearless in facing the distractions of your mind, the emotions of your mind, and learning to realize that you are the dictator over these. You get to dictate what your mind will think, what your emotions will be. You get to determine this. It is what you call self-determination, where you determine the self that you are to be the self that you are through mind and through matter. But you cannot expect to get pleasure from drink or substance and expect that to leave you fulfilled. For what is in here, you cannot escape it. No matter how many times you take the pills or the drugs or the sweetness, no matter how many times you take these distractions and engage in them, the cars and the homes and the things that give you pleasure. I feel good here. And then at the end of each day, or the end of that pleasure, you close your eyes and you hear inside that little voice saying, I am unruly, I am afraid, I am uncertain, I don't like these thoughts, I don't like these memories. And you decide, I cannot change this, I do not want to feel this, and you go back to prostituting yourself to substance again, rather than offering the brilliant, splendid gift that you are to this world. You are a gift to this world. The world is not simply a gift to you. To overcome this process, this blessed curse that you call addiction, you must begin the journey of creation, the journey of self-realization, self-creation. It begins when you realize that your thoughts and your memories are not the source of who and what you are. Your thoughts and your memories are not the source of who and what you are. The very nature of being able to observe a thought, the very nature that you can observe an emotion and say, I'm aware I am afraid, I'm aware I am anxious, I'm aware I am angry. The moment you can be aware that you are aware, you are no longer that which you are aware of. And that is the first step, that first step of awareness. There's this thought, there's this emotion that I am aware of. The very nature of your awareness is that you are not that thought, you are not that emotion, and thereby you are able to select and choose, will I think this thought? Will I stay attached to this emotion? And for some of you, these emotions, these thoughts can be very powerful, even intimate, stimulating, and invigorating for your body. For your body feels the energy of your thought, and it feels the energy of your emotion, and it can only respond to them on the level it is, which is to avoid suffering. Your body does not like to suffer, and you end up listening to your body rather than the good sense of your mind, and so your body is uncomfortable with this fear that is going on in your head, and you are not in control of it. You're not aware that, wait, this fear is not who I am. I can observe it. I can sit quietly and watch it until it goes, and you can do this. And we would say to you that those of you that have the strongest, most seemingly uncontrollable emotion have the greatest opportunity for growth, freedom, and responsibility when you recognize that you can simply say, be still. You can align your mind and body to you rather than you aligning to your mind and body, which is what most of you do. You try to adapt to the thoughts that have been placed in your mind. You've been put into a room full of strangers and told, here, figure this out. Figure out why this is the way they are. Many of you feel like that. You're put into a room full of strangers in your own mind and in that body. What is this body? And you have to figure it out. But that mind and that body is something that you inhabit. It is your house in this physical journey in this place. It is the vehicle that you utilize, and you're responsible for it. But those of you who have the strongest emotions, the strongest thoughts, have the greatest potential for mastery over what you call matter, time, and space. In your willingness to differentiate between your awareness and your thoughts and your emotions and your body, and your willingness to make a discernment between those elements, you begin a process of liberation, of freedom. Just the very notion that this emotion is not who I am, this thought is not who I am, I'm observing it. Where did it originate from? Maybe it is not mine. Maybe I don't want it in my house. Maybe I can remove it. Maybe I can ask it to go. Maybe I can still it and quiet it. Maybe I can transform and change it. You begin to get curious as the observer. Because as the observer, you are not the emotion, although it can be very disturbing and distracting, but it is not you. The very fact that you are aware of it means that you are not it. You are awareness of it, the observer of the emotion. And yet, if you keep staring at it and looking at it, you can get lost in it too. Oh, I'm looking at this. Or you can say, no, I'm going to place this emotion to the side. I'm going to breathe. I will be still. I will return to silence. Did you know you can do this? Did you know you can return to silence? You can return to silence. You can return your mind to silence. But it's so loud. It's so loud. I try and I try. Well, don't try. Breathe. Ask it to be still. Be still. Be still. Be still. You teach an animal by telling it the same thing over and over again, do you not? Is your mind any less different in terms of teaching it to be still, to be quiet? To say, no, do not look there, look over here. Your mind is a simple instrument, very powerful when you understand its form and function in relation to matter, time, and space. The liberation and illumination of yourself comes from first considering If I am awareness observing my thoughts, and I am awareness observing my emotions, and I am awareness observing the body, then who is this I? And what is the quality of who I am? How do I experience this I? Because the I that you are is different than the personality that you've been believing you are. There's a distinction in quality, in function, in nature, in expression. There's a difference. There's a difference that you can feel when you go, that's a thought I am aware of. That's an emotion I'm aware of. That distinction begins a journey. You begin a journey with that distinction. I am aware of this emotion. It is very uncomfortable. It's not, I'm aware of it, but I'm not it. I'm aware of it, that it is discomfortable, but it's not who I am. My body feels restless, but I'm going to have my body be still. I'm aware that my body wants to be restless, but I'm going to have my body be still. I'm going to keep my body still. I'm going to keep my awareness aware of my body. I'm going to keep my awareness aware of my thought. I'm going to keep my awareness aware of emotion, knowing that I am not them. And when you are not them, and you are not caught up in them, then you do not need to be distracted from them. You do not need the drug. You do not need the drink. You do not need the pill, the sex, the stuff of this world to distract you if you have no way to be distracted. If as awareness you can say, there is that emotion of fear, and I'm going to breathe, I'm going to release that. Did you know that you are a wizard? You can release emotions, you can have thoughts, and emotions literally just disappear. You can release them. With a single breath, you can release a thought. You can release an emotion from your body. And then as you begin to experience releasing these things and how they leave your body, when you orchestrate it into stillness and calm, as you experience that release, now you begin to feel peace that you establish. You establish heaven on earth. You begin to establish a new world. A new world is brought first into mind, and then it is brought into matter. For what you bring down from above shall come below. Equally, as if you believe that that which is below is what you are, then that which is below will feel like it is above. But you, as awareness, are liberated to bring that, whatever you choose, down into mind, down into matter. And when you bring peace into your mind, when you establish peace in your mind, you will see a very different world. But this requires that you all be willing to do this. Hi, Janine. Oh, thank you for that. Janine, thank you for that question, and thank you for that. I don't know who this is, but they're coming in to say to you, put aside all fear. Rejoice in your creating. Rejoice in your creation. Make your work of joy. Make your works of joy. Make your actions of joy. Make each moment your joy. Every breath, the placement of everything in the spaces that you work and the places you go. Do these things with joy, deliberate, intentional joy. Do not let your beautiful vision be distracted by the past. This is part of this, of which we speak today, that you can be addicted to your suffering until you are not. You can be addicted to your pain until you are not. You can be addicted to your sadness until you're not. You can be addicted to the sensations of pleasure until you are not. And you are not when you know that you have choice to choose. I'm going to choose to do this with love and joy. I'm going to choose to embrace this moment. But we do not see you having any difficulty with what you are doing. Make your hard work joyous, and you will find the journey very satisfying, very uplifting, very inspiring. It is not about the other. It is about your being and choosing to be that which you are. Your practice will thrive as you thrive, as you align yourself to the joy and the fulfillment that you experience, enabling yourself to be an extension of love and healing. Then you will experience love and healing in the effects around you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. So this, when Hermes first came to me today, he said that it's really important you understand that most of humanity is addicted to matter. We're addicted to the pleasure of things. And we're addicted because addiction is a distraction from our internal suffering. Addiction is a distraction from our internal suffering. And I asked him, well, what's our internal suffering? And he said, internal suffering is a disconnection between who you really are and who you've been pretending to be. And I said, well, what do you mean by who I'm pretending to be? And he said, when you come into that body and you're given an identity, you begin to pretend to be that identity. That's not who you are, but you begin to pretend the identity. This process of pretending begins this thing called separateness. You move away from this divine estate of your being into this role that is not who you are. And most suffering is a result of our moving into a false identity and getting disconnected from who we are. He said, when you begin to connect back, to who you are as awareness, as consciousness, as the decider of thought, the creator of image, the manifester of energy, you liberate yourself from the false self, the one that you've been given. He wants me to say again, it begins with awareness. It begins by becoming aware, I have an emotion that's uncomfortable, I have a thought that's unpleasant, I have memories that are unpleasant. The very nature of your awareness begins that journey of self-reflection and self-liberation. As the awareness, aware of thoughts, you are not the thought, you're aware of it. That means the thought is not you. The thought is something that's stored in your body from your environment. He says that's the fundamental, most important place to start is with awareness, making that distinction and not diving into subjectivity to those thoughts and emotions, which is he said, I did that a lot in my past. I dive into emotion. I feel a certain way and I get lost in it, right? And a lot of people do that automatically. Oh my God, they get lost in the, oh my God, they're lost in energy. They're disconnected from the freedom to choose. I don't have to be in an energy of, oh my God, or fear. I do not have to be in that. So awareness is the very first step to liberating yourself from addiction. The minute you're aware of the fear, the anger, or whatever is driving you to find pleasure in other things, once you have an awareness that you're trying to move away from that, you don't have to try and move away from it. You simply need to realize that you're not it. You're not the thought. You're not the emotion. You're not the discomfort in the body. That you are the awareness that can assert authority and dominion over that body. You can literally say to the body, it's uncomfortable. You can literally use your will to keep it still. Use your breathing to keep it calm. When you utilize your breathing, you assert dominion over your body immediately. You use your breathing. When you begin to initiate breathing, you are asserting authority, loving authority over your body. And your body loves to breathe. And when you breathe slowly and deeply, it stimulates an automatic relaxation response in the body. So you want to learn to do that. But he says awareness is the first step to breaking free of any addiction. And addiction doesn't mean you're an alcoholic or you're a methamphetamine addict. Addiction can be, or a sex addict. Addiction can be, you're addicted to having stuff. The more stuff I have, the better I feel. Therefore, if I build a bigger house or a bigger car or bigger cities or I get more stuff, those are addictions too. And he says, it feels good. Addiction feels good, but only temporarily. He said, that is the curse. It's only temporary. But you are immortal. You are immortal. You as soul, as awareness, are immortal. You will rise above your addiction at some point in your evolution through time and space and matter. you may choose it to be now, but it is better to not delay, to choose now, to say, I am going to be who I am. I'm going to begin to remake my house, align myself, align who I am, align my body, align my mind to who I am. I will not try to be and adapt myself to my body mind, but they will adapt to who I am. He said that is not as long a journey as many have been taught to think it is. It is not as long a journey as many have been taught to believe. The journey to freedom is literally a breath away. Yes, there's lots of symbols and ideas that have percolated down into matter to try and wake people up. The concept of the Kundalini, the concept of breathing that energy up, the concept of chi, learning to work with energy, which is everything anyway, but there are different levels of it. But I was really struck by him when he came in and he said that addiction is a blessed curse. But everyone has some degree of an addiction on this planet. Very few people do not have some form of an addiction. The best addiction to have is the addiction to who you are as a being. That is the one acceptable addiction, to become addicted to who you really are, not who you've been taught to think you're supposed to be, not who the world thinks you should be, but the you that you are, to get addicted to being what your creator intended you to be, and then to carry that, because what you are as a creator, you don't need as much as society has conditioned you to think that you need. We all actually need very little to be fulfilled, physically, to be fulfilled mentally and emotionally. And that leaves us free to give, to take care of the trees, to take care of the birds, to help life grow, to help life flourish in all of its forms. But our addictions are literally causing us to consume the world. I mean, you look at the great beasts of North America that are a fraction of what they were 150 years ago. Great billions and millions of herding animals that are gone forever. And we came here to tend to this garden. We came here to master growth and creation. And certainly this is part of the process, because sometimes you have to make a mistake to learn, right? But yeah, that we are all addicted to matter to some degree. And there are few of you that are not addicted to matter the way that most of you are. Wow. Thank you. He's departing now. I can feel his energy pulling away. The point has been made. Yeah. So let's get into some questions and answers. Yes, I understand. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to scroll up here. Question from Lysandra. I keep getting the strong, dizzy feeling that comes a few times a day. What is this, and what do I need to do? Thanks. I don't know who this is, but you've got a guardian angel coming in right now, and they're saying when you experience that, to sit down and just allow yourself to be aware of it fearlessly. Be aware of it fearlessly. Have no fear or concern. Feel the vibration of it. You're moving into vortex energies that you can spiral down and bring up. Energy you can bring up and down. You must become fearless of energy. Do not let fear determine it. Wow. I like this one. Pretty cool. Yeah. So whenever you get that, sit down and allow yourself to be present. It's funny. I have that happen during my meditation sometimes. I'll be meditating and I'll be guided to take a very deep breath and to hold it in a specific way. And I'm asked to hold it in a particular way to squeeze certain muscle groups. And then I'll release that breath. And this sensation, like I'm like this. It feels like my body's is literally doing this. And it might be. I don't know, because I'm aware, but I'm not in this dimension. I'm on another level. And I used to be afraid I was going to fall over. And as I let go of it, I began to feel the energy that's available that can spiral down through and spiral up through matter. So yeah, that's a really great question, Lysandra. Thank you so much. I love that. Question from Drusilla. Can you ask them where my frequency is and if I'm on the right path. I don't know why they started laughing. You already know this. You are so much harder on yourself than you need to be. Can you not see? You must look at something of yourself from before. You will see, even in the flesh, the difference in your spirit. The difference in your flesh because of the difference in your spirit. We do admire you for wishing to aspire higher, for you may choose to do this also, but you will not be able to do so if you are pursuing that avenue from the concern that you may not be doing it right. If you are concerned that you may not be doing it right, then you will inhibit the very thing you are seeking to become. Release your judgment. Release your judgment that you are somehow not doing it right, and you will find yourself aspiring very quickly to the light. Thank you. Here we go. Going quickly here. A question from Tanya. Lately, wonderful. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. A question from Janine. Where's Tanya? Oh, that's Janine. Tanya, there you are. Lately, what I think is the Kundalini is so intense I only manage to sleep 3 or 4 hours per day. What can I do? I do long dog walks in nature, but nothing helps. Service. It's not. I don't know. There's laughter. This is a problem that many beings in this world want to have, this awareness of energy and spirit. Many want to have that problem of freedom, that you now have so much more time to live and be and do in this world. Are you doing this with love and joy? If you are able to put aside your concerns, that you have given yourself more life, you've given yourself more time to do what you came here to do. And I don't know who this is, but they're telling me to tell her to get a journal and start writing the experiences of the energy. Write on the experiences of the energy, rather than the experience of what you're thinking about is a lack of sleep, to write about the experience of the energy, how it's altering, shifting, and changing your awareness, distressing your awareness, how it's altering and shifting your awareness. Not your mind's perception, not your body's perception, your awareness. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you so much. Question from Lori. May I have advice on quitting kratom? Should I cold turkey or wean? Thank you. The challenge that many of you face in seeking to relieve yourself of these addictions is a lack of understanding that first, you have conditioned your body into a state of enjoying these things. You have conditioned your mind into thinking and believing certain realities as a result of your indulgence in these things. The degree and intensity of awareness that you must bring to this process of change will be greater or lesser depending upon the nature, degree, and intensity of your attachment to these things. If your attachment to a substance or a need has been so intense that you cannot seem to be without it, that you feel compelled, then there will be much greater will involved in being able to re-educate your body into how to be still and quiet, to want and need something different that is more appropriate to it. There are some of you that will like to wean your way off these processes, and there are some of you that like to jump right in and say, I will do this. The challenge you face in that is if you have not trained your mind and body efficiently enough, then the sudden change in the awareness of mind and body could prove very distracting to you and pull you back in. In your case, we would suggest that you do this process gradually to become aware of the different sensations and emotions that are liberated as you return your body back to the divine estate instead of needing this substance to maintain a state. You will gradually train your body to stillness, to quiet, to balance, to equilibrium by what you will say, what you will do, what you will place into the temple. This is important, that these subtle changes in thought and emotion that happen when you begin to liberate yourself from attachments, that the form must be re-educated, retrained. We recommend that you provide it with substances that it truly needs, that will give it the same elements, but in their natural form, not in their unnatural form. But I don't know who this has been saying. Tell. I don't know who they are, but it's a female. She's middle-aged female coming in, and she's saying to you to go slow. Take it slow. Take it easy. You'll be fine. I don't know who she is. She got grayish black hair, curly. Yeah, she's presenting as an elderly woman, somewhere around 68, 72 in that area. That's from my William perspective observation. But she's saying, yeah, take it slow and easy. Yeah, cool, wonderful. Thank you for that. Oh, you're welcome. Question from Benjamin. I call upon different archangels and ascended masters by name, but I often can't tell a difference between them. I can easily discern my higher self, yet with other beings it feels unclear. As you raise your vibration, this is really important, as you raise your vibration, as you begin to align to the essence of who you are in frequency, okay? When you start to align, there's a level of discernment that changes. You literally start to become, it's like if you go to a concert, there's a law in physics called the Law of Synchronicity. And you go to a concert and there's a certain rhythm in the concert, and all of a sudden a few people start going to the rhythm, and then they're out of rhythm, and then everybody's going in rhythm, right? So as you align yourself vibrationally, these ascended ones, as you start to raise your vibration by getting your body in a pristine state, by getting your mind clear and calm and quiet, by learning to train your emotions into vibrational states of joy and compassion and kindness and love, you literally raise yourself up to their frequency. So you become in harmony with them. You're moving with them. You get to experience yourself as them now. You're in the same energy, being and doing as they are being and doing. And this is a wonderful thing when you realize what they mean by the statement that we are all one. We are not all one until we are all one, right? When we're like this, we think we are different. It's called the Law of Synchronicity. It's funny, they got me to watch this thing on YouTube about the Law of Synchronicity the other day, and here it is right now to discuss it. So please understand that there's nothing wrong. You're actually harmonizing with them. If you ask them clearly, can you come closer to me? Can you identify me with energy? You can say, I want to feel the energy of Master Jesus. I want to feel the energy of Buddha. I want to feel the energy of my Father. And you can physically feel, perceptibly become aware biologically of their energy interacting with the energy of your body. And then you can learn to discern the different nuances in their frequencies. Archangel Michael's energy is very different than Master Jesus, right? Just like your energy is very different than your brothers or sisters or mothers or fathers. We have different energy, but we can also get in harmony with each other. Like if we're all singing together, we can get in tune with each other, but we can also act as individuals. And the same is true above as it is below. We can be individuals, but we can also be a collective. Interesting. Great question. I love that question, Benjamin. A message for Lauren. I don't know why, but I'm getting this strong, like look up at the clouds. Like when you have a chance, lay back and look up at the clouds. There are messages in the clouds for you. What do you mean by that? You will see the clouds have borne witness to your life. as you may ask your mind, what you may not find in your mind, you may be finding in the clouds. Lay back and ask a question, to be shown an image. Ask to be shown an answer to your question in the clouds. I've never heard that before. That's amazing, Lauren. To lie back and ask to be shown an answer to a question in the clouds. That's amazing. Never heard that before. Thank you so much, Lauren. It's wonderful. Wow. Question from Janine. Who are my guides and angels? I work with Archangel Metatron a lot and Archangel Michael blessings. You can ask them to step forth. Once you've got, if you're aware of Metatron and Michael working with you, it's the same thing. You can literally get your body and your mind in a quiet state. And we teach this in our mediumship program. We teach people how to actually get to that place of awareness where you can sense your relatives' energy that are not in the physical form. Or you can speak to the higher self of somebody who's in a different point in time and space. But you can call forth your guides, your angels. They'll come to you. All you have to do is be aware. It's like you're not thinking about the color I'm about to say. So you can't have anything in your mind about it until if I say the color, then you're going to have something in your mind about it instantly. If I say the color blue, all of a sudden something blue comes to your awareness. So when you're in your meditation or you're relaxed or still, call on, I want to experience the energy of my guardian angel. And you'll feel them. So I can feel John coming in. And you feel their presence instantly. And then you can get to know them gradually. What is your name? Ask them to show a color. Ask them to reveal themselves to you. And be patient. Remember, you're getting to connect to an energy. It's the same as you go into you're invited to a friend's house for a party. Or you're invited to a dinner at a friend's. And you go there. And you're meeting there's a bunch of people you don't even know there. You don't just walk up and throw your arms around them. Hi, you get to know them, you introduce yourself to them, right? The same thing is true with your guides and your angels. You get to know them. They're individuals as well. Remember that. Just because they don't have a body, as you understand a body to be, doesn't mean that they don't have individuality that should be respected as equally as anybody in this physical dimension, right? It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Question from Luz de Luna. I got Reiki done recently and felt fine, but a month later, now I'm feeling a different pain. I haven't felt before. What is my body trying to tell you? It's not your body. They're saying it's not your body. Move your awareness into the pain. Move your awareness into the pain. Become aware of it. Instead of just being detached, move into the awareness of the pain. Communicate. Okay, take your right hand also. Place your right hand over that place where the pain is. Your right hand. They're saying your right hand. Move your awareness to where the pain is. Place your right hand over it. And simply, gently, speak these words to that part of the body. I am willing to love you, even if I do not understand you. Simply and gently, I'm willing to love you, even if I do not understand you. Just feel how it receives that intention. It is given to all of you to heal, to be fulfilled, to be free. It is given to all of you. Wow. Thank you for that, Luz. I really appreciate it. Wonderful. Question from Blaine for Hermes. How is our body a symbolic of the universe? I love that question. Yes. He's saying that the 5 points are cardinal. The 5 points are cardinal. But if you take these 5 points, the arms and the legs and the head, and you begin to spin them and you spin them very fast, you will understand how it is all interconnected. Well, I'm not sure what that means, but I get a vision in my mind of actually watching the physical body rotating around. And what does that look like if it's the arms and legs are spread and everything spins? I'd like to see a 3D rendering of that, but I feel like it creates it's a natural, is that correct? He's saying it's a natural vortex. It's a natural point for receiving vortex energy and emitting vortex energy. And he's showing me an image of energy coming up and energy coming down. Like if you can imagine the body having a big X, being a big X, energy flows down, energy flows down, energy flows up, energy flows up, energy flows down. But it's always, it does not happen he's saying it's not happening in the language. It's not like the language that's being described to you. The movement of this energy is very different. You must understand, these terms up and down do not do proper representation of what the energy of what I speak is. But the form, if you rotate it, you will get, and you rotate it fast enough, that form, you will see the dynamic. You may do this in water if you choose. You may put a 5-pointed, like a physical body in water and rotate it very, very fast. And you will see and understand what I tried to describe to you as it actually is, rather than trying to interpret its meaning through the words that I'm communicating through this one. The relationship is universal, not finite. Cool. Thank you so much. Hi, Lauren. Can Lauren have a message today? Absolutely. Wow. I get, it's interesting. I get this picture of the dragons from Game of Thrones. Again, it's just, I never a fan of Game of Thrones, but I don't know why that's coming in. It's literally a dragon coming in. And it's a red dragon, and it's saying very clearly and gently, be in the rhythm. Like it's a rhythm, something about a rhythm, to be in rhythm. Slow down. There's no need to go fast, in rhythm. It's literally showing itself going through the air like that, a rhythm. This is the message that is important. The messages of rhythm, to be slow in rhythm. Again, I don't know what that means in reference to your life, but there's a beautiful energy to that. But it's not. I'm showing you back and forth with my body, but no, this is forward like this. But it's a really slow, gentle movement. Interesting. I've never gotten the red dragon before. That's cool. Thank you, Lauren. Okay. Thank you, Tanya. Wow, you guys have been great today. The questions, thank you so much for the super chats and the questions today. It's wonderful. I'm so grateful. If you want to support this channel in other ways, you can become a member of my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. I love your support. Every little bit helps here. Also, I want to say there's one more week left. You have to enroll in our mediumship program, Mediumship 101 course. You can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out our mediumship program there. We start on April the 23rd, and we have our beginner's course where you begin to learn how to sense energies and get in touch with you guys and angels, to learn to do so much more than that too. All the course information and details are there. I invite you. We do have limited space in the course, and we're about half full already. So please, if you're going to join us, take advantage of this opportunity. We will be not running another program until next fall, and I look forward to that time as well. But for those of you that are already signed up for the course, I'm so excited. We've got some really great people in this program. We got some really great mediums working with us, and it's become quite profound, the type of changes that our students go through. So thank you for those of you that have signed up, and I want to wish everybody much love and much joy. I will see you on the meditation tomorrow, Supernatural Saturday at 11:30 a.m. For those of you that are new today, please remember to subscribe to my channel. And if you're not going to subscribe to the channel, at least share this video out so somebody else gets to experience the knowledge and information that comes through any of the videos that are on this channel. It's our time. It's time to wake up. Time to wake up from our slumber. So if you are new and you can subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know whenever I come live. And remember, give this video a thumbs up and share the information and message with other people. There's so many people that are struggling with addiction today. I struggled with it years ago. It's a distraction from our suffering. And unless we know how to deal with our thoughts and emotions, most people, until we know how to release ourselves from subjectivity to our thoughts and emotions, we end up finding things that distract us from the discomfort that those thoughts and emotions cause in our body. But once you realize you can change your thoughts, you can change your emotions, the journey for your freedom begins. It really does. And it does not have to take months or years. It can happen very quickly in the right environment, with the right people, with the right circumstances. You can change your life rapidly. Anyway, I want to wish everybody much love. We'll see you guys on Supernatural Saturday tomorrow for the meditation. And have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.